Right at the top of the hour. It's good to see you again. My name is Patricia Lukoma Mpango. Elizabeth Nakakone will be joining us shortly, and straight away into the bulletin. President Yoweri Museveni today met with a delegation from the Africa Centers for Disease Control and Prevention at State House in Entebbe to receive a briefing on the Ebola outbreak. The delegation reported that the situation is currently being managed. During the meeting, the Africa CDC Director General Dr. Jean Kaseya proposed the establishment of a continental incident management support team for Ebola to be based in Kampala to improve coordination and monitoring. President Museveni accepted the proposal and offered Uganda's full support for the initiative. The president stated that Ebola is a manageable condition provided that sufficient attention is dedicated to the response efforts. Presently, Uganda has not registered any local Ebola case. And more on these updates about the Ebola outbreak will be brought to you as it unfolds. Now, the National Resistance Movement, NRM Central Executive Committee, has resolved to invite all party members interested in contesting for the positions of Speaker and Deputy Speaker of Parliament to formally express interest in the party's electoral commission. The decision was reached during a Central Executive Committee meeting held on Friday, 22nd May 2026 at State House in Entebbe.
Called by the chairman of SEC, who is none other than the President of Uganda, His Excellency Yoweri Museveni.
The Central Executive Committee meeting, which was convened this afternoon at Entebbe State House, has resolved to open up the speakership and deputy speakership race in the 12th Parliament to all party members.
The first National Vice Chairperson attended, Alhaji Moses Chigongo. The second National Vice Chairperson sent apology. The letter was read to SEC, indicating that she is not able because she is indisposed. And that apology was received and accepted. The chairperson of NRM Electoral Commission, who is a member of SEC, attended. The Secretary General, the Deputy National Treasurer, and the National Treasurer all attended as members of SEC. We had a quorum of 23 members. Other members who attended are the guests of the chairman of SEC, the former Vice President or the current, the Vice President, the Prime Minister, and even the Deputy Speaker, Right Honorable Tayeba, attended. SEC resolved that since the Right Honorable Anita Annette Among had withdrawn from the race and had written to the chairman of the party a letter which was read to SEC, there was need to start the process afresh. So SEC rescinded its earlier decision, its earlier recommendation of Right Honorable Anita Among and Right Honorable Tayebwa.
According to the NRM Electoral Commission Chairperson, Dr. Tango Doi, this exercise will conclude on Saturday, 23rd May 2026 and will be welcoming all party members.
That means Honorable Tayebwa is free to apply because he has not expressed unwillingness to continue. And other members are also willing or free to come in. The Right Honorable Minister of both, and others who are interested, so long as they are NRM and they are members of the 12th Parliament. From today up to 7, expression of interest starts. Tomorrow at 8, we shall be here to receive any of them who comes, up to 3 p.m. We shall then compile the list and present the detailed list of their CVs to SEC on Sunday.
The do's and the don'ts have been also decided in the Central Executive Committee meeting held on the Friday of the 22nd May 2026.
No candidate is allowed to campaign. No candidate is allowed to bribe voters. No candidate is allowed to even collect a meeting of NRM MPs anywhere. And once we get that candidate or that aspirant, that is for automatic disqualification. Once we get evidence which we can actually legally defend, that this person has collected people, has given money, has done this, in the space of time we have, that person shall be disqualified.
The NRM Electoral Commission Chairperson Dr. Tango Doi has informed UBC that the caucus will be convening on the same Sunday in the afternoon to rubber stamp the two candidates who will be forwarded to the whole house, convening on the 25th of May 2026 at Kololo Ceremonial Grounds to vote the Speaker and the Deputy.
The moment the party says the following aspirants are the candidates, those are the ones which are represented in Kololo. They must be people with a very good legal background. They must be people who belong to the party called NRM, who are voted on the ticket of NRM, and who are current members of the 12th Parliament.
The process of arriving at two candidates for the slots of Speaker and Deputy for the 12th Parliament is a process which has raised dust within the NRM party. Many candidates, mainly members of Parliament, have expressed interest in these two slots.
Right Honourable Anita Mong put it in writing that she is no longer interested in contesting for Speaker of Parliament and will support a position, any of the candidates that SEC will have recommended. She will even lead as a front runner in campaigning for that candidate.
I'm Robert Onyango for UBC News here at the NRM Electoral Commission offices.
But cannot participate.
The National Women's Council has appealed to women across the country to remain patient amid the ongoing debate surrounding the Speaker and Deputy Speaker positions of the 12th Parliament. The chairperson of the National Women's Council, Hajat Farida, assured women that the President remains a strong champion of the women's agenda and affirmative action in Uganda.
As the debate over the Speaker and Deputy Speaker of Parliament intensifies, some women advocates have raised concerns of endorsements being made without considering the gender balance equation. The National Women's Council has, however, urged women to remain calm and focus on the track record of those being endorsed, especially regarding the promotion of the women's agenda.
Uganda has not forgotten us as women. When we don't get an opportunity to be a speaker or deputy speaker, we can still get another opportunity of being a big person in this country. Not only a speaker or deputy speaker, but it can be cabinet, it can be in any other decision-making position.
Hajat Farida Kivowa further assured women of President Museveni's commitment to women emancipation and affirmative action, noting that the President has consistently supported women in leadership and public service.
Under the leadership of President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, it has been at the forefront of women emancipation. This one we have to appreciate the government of Uganda for empowering women in all areas, but specifically when it comes to being empowered politically. The NRM government and President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni have been at the top of the game. So we thank the government of NRM for that. But specifically for the President, Mr. President has actually been the champion of the women's agenda.
The Council also appealed to women entrusted with leadership responsibilities to serve diligently and responsibly while safeguarding the interest of the wider women community.
We want a man who is going to understand what the women of this country need. And in any case, we have actually seen women who have come out actually not even to remember that they are women and they are put in those positions to fight for the women and to push for the women's agenda. So if we get a man who is actually in a better position to fight for the women's agenda, we can embrace that.
Meanwhile, women leaders say they are closely following the ongoing investigations involving the former Speaker of Parliament, Anita Among, and remain optimistic about the outcome of the process.
It's been on number 3 of this country. We can't celebrate what is happening, and we are only looking at what is happening and how it is handled. So we can give space to the investigations.
So far, the Patriotic League of Uganda, which is affiliated to the NRM, Jackson Oboth for Speaker and Thomas Tayewa for Deputy Speaker, although the NRM caucus is yet to officially pronounce itself on the matter. Patricia Lukoma for UBC.
Thanks, Abdul Nasir. Now, Ebola awareness. In a renewed push to protect communities from deadly infectious diseases, the Ministry of Health, working alongside Uganda's top TB and the Interreligious Council of Uganda, have launched an intensive Ebola awareness campaign in Kamocha. As we hear more in this report.
The Ministry of Health has stepped up its nationwide Ebola prevention drive, intensifying community sensitization efforts aimed at strengthening public awareness and early response to the disease. In Kamocha, health officials carried out an extensive outreach campaign, engaging residents on Ebola prevention, early warning signs, and the importance of strict hygiene practices.
Mu ggwanga lyaffe lino tukyayina abalwadde bangi, tulina burden y'obulwadde bungi. Kati mu mbeera eyo emphasizing kituyita primary prevention, kwe kusomesa abantu ne babeera ne information mu kulwanyisa obulwadde.
Residents stand up in large numbers for free medical checkups, counseling sessions and health education provided by medical teams, all focused on safeguarding communities against any possible outbreak. Speaking during the exercise, stakeholders stressed that continuous community outreach remains vital in closing the gaps between health workers and the public, especially when dealing with infectious diseases such as Ebola.
Gradually, we have tried to, through the different partnerships, we are overcoming the challenges slowly by slowly, the funding, the community mobilization. We get to know which times are best to come to, like the ghetto youth.
Health experts further urged residents to remain vigilant, maintain proper hygiene, immediately report any suspected symptoms, and always seek care from authorized health facilities. Meanwhile, residents welcomed the outreach but called on the government to expand such free medical services and improve access to affordable health care within Kamocha and surrounding areas.
One of the outcries of the young people are being charged to access health services. But if we have services like this coming, let us try to actively participate. Let us try to mobilize our communities, bring our family members in order to benefit from this opportunity.
And at MUBS, the Chancellor Makerere University, Dr. Crispus Chiyonga, has put Parliament on notice that he will back the anti-alcohol bill immediately the 12th Parliament commences business. According to Dr. Chiyonga, Uganda needs 2 laws that can check the country's alcoholism rate that positions it in the leading seat on the continent. That in 2016, Mukono Municipality MP Betty Namboze attempted to introduce the anti-alcohol bill that would later be re-modified and reintroduced in 2023.
According to reports by the World Health Organization, Uganda ranks among the top alcohol-consuming countries in Africa, with an estimated 12.2 liters of pure alcohol consumed per capita annually. The same reports indicate that about 10% of the adult population suffers from alcohol use disorder, a situation that continues to strain the public health sector through liver diseases, infectious disease complications, and other social challenges.
Please avoid, if possible, alcohol totally. There is no value, in my view, in the consumption of alcohol, waraji or whatever people are drinking.
Now, the Chancellor of Makerere University, Dr. Crispus Chiyonga, says he is ready to support the Betty Namboze anti-alcohol bill once the 12th Parliament commences business.
We must fight alcoholism. Uganda, in the whole of Africa, is #1 in the consumption of alcohol. #1 in something that negative. So how am I going to help? I have been told that Honorable Namboze from Mukono, the Member of Parliament, she tried to move a motion in our Parliament in regard to controlling alcohol, and she was isolated. The other people said, you go away. So now it's going to be me and Honorable Namboze to push this fight against alcoholism.
Dr. Kiyonga made the remarks while presiding over the 19th graduation ceremony of Makerere University Business School, MUBS, where a total of 751 graduates received postgraduate diplomas, ordinary diplomas, and certificates in various disciplines. Dr. Kiyonga also cautioned graduates and the youth in general to embrace responsible lifestyles and maintain a high level of discipline, warning that failure to do so could expose them to diseases such as HIV and AIDS.
Now we are fearing Ebola, but there are also other diseases. Diseases like HIV/AIDS. It's up to you. The lessons are out there. How you can keep yourself away from HIV/AIDS. The knowledge, you have the knowledge. But you need the discipline to practice what that knowledge is telling you, so that you keep away from that risk.
Earlier, the principal of Makerere University Business School, MUBS, Professor Moses Muhwezi, advised graduates on the importance of being trustworthy, honest, and reliable in their places of work.
Keep that professional discipline. For example, being mindful of time, achieving work targets, and don't allow sin to kill you. Don't dance yourselves lame. The future is yet to come. And as alumnus of MUBS, we hope you will always trace your roots and remember that this great institution made your life comfortable.
Similarly, the academic registrar of Makerere University, Professor Buyinza Mukadasi, who represented the Vice Chancellor, Professor Barnabas Nawangwe, encouraged graduates to become job creators rather than job seekers.
Graduating with impact-oriented disciplines that are very much needed by society today. You have been equipped with knowledge and skills that will make you employable and enable you to create your own businesses and possibly employ many others in this country. Do not despair if you cannot find employment. Instead, reflect on the immense opportunity around you and raise them as an entrepreneur that we've trained you to be.
Meanwhile, several staff members and graduates were recognized for their outstanding performance.
The overall best researcher we have already had is Mr. Maham.
This year's Makerere University Business School graduation ceremony was held under the theme From Lecture Hall to National Leadership, MUBS as a launchpad for Uganda's future leaders. Dorcas Kimono, UBC News.
The Local Government Finance Commission has held a mid-term review of program negotiations for the financial year 2026-2027 aimed at tracking progress for improved service delivery. The Commission Secretary Adam Babale says more than 60% of the agreed undertakings have so far been implemented.
Term review follows negotiations held last year between central government and local governments on funding allocations and service delivery priorities. Speaking during the review meeting, Commission Secretary Adam Babale said more than 60% of agreed undertakings have already been implemented by various ministries and departments.
What we are seeing is that what we agreed, a good number, or over 60% of what was agreed has been implemented by the different ministries and departments. Now, a number of them remained and have so far remained unimplemented, good part of them are as a result of inadequate funds within the budget.
Programs including sustainable urbanization and housing are showing progress, where the Ministry of Lands has reportedly secured 6 billion Uganda shillings to procure machines that will support land titling across local governments.
After procuring these machines, we want to see that titling of land across the country is increased, because ownership of land has also been an issue.
The review is also identifying challenges affecting implementation and emerging issues that may require fresh negotiations ahead of the next round of discussions. Vice Chairperson of the Commission, Mariam Nalwega, said the review is helping the Commission to track compliance levels among ministries and local governments.
Commission that is supposed to fast track and ensure that there is compliance. And in a way of doing that, we hold a midterm review so that we track progress before we go back to the negotiations of the next financial year. So this midterm review is to actually achieve that.
Meanwhile, President of the Uganda Local Government Association, Andrew Moses Awanyi, says the engagements are helping both central government and local governments identify gaps, allocate resources, and coordinate efforts to ensure communities receive quality services.
Local governments must negotiate with ministries, departments, and agencies for resources that must go down to the various local governments for service delivery.
Mary Namkose, UBC News.
Now, Uganda Matters University in Kozi has started a chaplaincy course to give practical skills to Catholic chaplains and empower them handle growing challenges facing communities. The Deputy Vice-Chancellor, Reverend Father Dr. Christopher Mukidi, says the short course training in chaplaincy, the third of its kind for all chaplains, will also handle growing mental concerns.
There are some challenges that I always encounter with the young people when they're joining, when they're asking to join in the religious life. I need to get maybe the new tools on how we can approach those young people. Number of them these days when they're joining religious life or priesthood, number of them come from different families, possibly from the single mothers and the families. And when it comes, the expectation is high. Father Peter, I belong to the congregation of Holy Cross.
This course is about training chaplains on how to carry out their chaplaincy ministry, well knowing that in seminaries and other training institutions, no one is taught about how to do chaplaincy work. So the university has come up with a program that gives skills and retools the chaplains on how to go about their ministry.
A chaplain is someone who gives spiritual guidance to people who are not actually in Christian institutions. So this means they serve prisons, hospitals, schools, and everywhere. So this course is designed to give them practical skills, teach them how to counsel, give hope to the hopeless, and show them guidance while they live through the challenges of life.
None of the people who are appointed as chaplains ever goes through a formal or structured training. But look, there are many innovations in the chaplaincy field across the globe, and there are a lot of experiences that people who are into the chaplaincy work can learn from. So we are now at level 3, and the main purpose of this course is really to address the issue or the necessity for continuous improvement for chaplains.
Now, a bit into science education, the Ministry of Education and Sports has hailed the impact of the SysMat program in strengthening science and mathematics teaching through hands-on training for secondary school teachers. Let's hear more in this report.
The annual SysMat Inset Workshop for Science and Mathematics teachers in the Wakiso-Kalangala region has officially closed at Trinity College in Abingo, with education leaders urging teachers to fully apply the skills acquired to improve classroom learning, held under the theme Understanding and Harnessing the Learning Environment for Competence-Based Education in Science and Mathematics. The workshop focused on strengthening teachers' capacity to effectively implement the competence-based curriculum in secondary schools.
We could hardly note the vision, and it is just at this moment that we are understanding that they really had a vision of changing from teacher-centered to learner-centered.
Speaking at the closing ceremony, Wakiso district education leaders commended Government of Uganda and the Ministry of Education and Sports for their continued support to the SESEMAT program since its inception. SESEMAT was launched in 2004 in the Bushe and Bukedi regions before expanding to Wakiso and Kalangala in 2008, and has since benefited thousands of science and mathematics teachers through continuous professional development. The training has featured open lesson studies, school support visits, classroom observations, and communities of practice aimed at improving teaching and learning methods.
What I'm seeing here, the practical bit, it is environmental conservation has been done. We have to use our materials, the local materials we have within us, to see that these learners can get something than thinking about a cockroach that is to 20,000 or 500 or so much. But if you can use this to create something, it is really a plus for SESEMAT.
Participants were also encouraged to cascade the knowledge gained to their respective schools and communities in order to improve learner outcomes and strengthen science, technology, and innovation in Uganda.
The training, we needed it because obviously we have to keep on refreshing ourselves. We have to equip ourselves with the needed ideas, the knowledge, the skills. Sharpen our brains in order to become better.
Anantongo, Mike Wakabulindi for UBC News.
And with NSSF Empowerment, the Minister of Gender, Labour and Social Development, Betty Amongi, has today launched the operations of a common user facility in Lira City, supported by the National Social Security Fund, to boost livelihoods, skilling and job creation among the communities. NSSF seeks to increase the number of Ugandans saving with the fund to at least 1 million people through the community-based empowerment programs.
Located in Lira City, the Skilling Center, operated under Northern Uganda Women in Business and Ariova Reality, has received modern industrial equipment through support from NSSF. The center, which previously relied on manual machines, is now expected to increase production capacity and improve efficiency for women entrepreneurs and youth seeking employment opportunities.
Any woman who would like to use this machine can come and use the machine to produce any of their fabrics for sale in any market and pay a small fee only.
Launching the facility, Gender Minister Betty Amongi said the initiative is aimed at empowering communities and improving livelihoods through skills development and access to modern production tools. Amongi notes that government continues to prioritize job creation initiatives in line with the President's guidance on empowering communities economically.
With machinery that can sew the product in a record time, enabling them to supply to many more people.
Patrick Ayota, the ED NSSF, said the initiative is being piloted in 4 districts, including Lira City, Shema, Mitoma and Kayonga, marking the first time the fund is directly supporting community job creation projects.
After that point, we know exactly what works, where we can apply it, what's the best model to use to bring people to the savings culture. Our target is to have, within the next 3 years, 1 million Ugandans in the formal sector saving a minimum of 5,000 shillings a month. 5,000 shillings a month times a million is 5 billion shillings a month. think of what that does to the country.
Linda Petra Agudo, the workshop manager, says the introduction of these modern industrial machines has transformed operations at the center, significantly improving production speed, quality and efficiency, while opening great opportunities for women and youth to earn sustainable incomes through tailoring and fashion design.
These machines have been very impactful to us who have experienced the old machine. You can adjust the speed on these machines. The biggest challenge that we face is power.
Welding also do not have everything they require, and they have actually requested for a 10 kV generator, which we have already agreed with our team that we are going to examine and support.
The social development program is expected to expand opportunities for local communities through skilling, innovation and sustainable job creation. Edi Ulwa, UBC News.
Now, MTN Uganda, through its corporate social responsibility arm, the MTN Foundation has graduated 58 young people under the Internet Bus Digital Literacy Program in Kampala.
The graduation ceremony was held at the Kabalagala Youth Center that's operated by Kampala Capital City Authority, KCCA. The graduates included 37 males and 21 females selected from communities across Kampala. Implemented in partnership with Maendeleo Foundation, the program trained 81 youth in practical ICT skills including computer literacy, internet use, digital communication, and online safety to improve employability and entrepreneurship. Speaking at the event, MTN Uganda Regional Manager for Kampala, Augustine Lule, said access to connectivity must go hand in hand with digital skills to empower young people to participate in the digital economy.
I think about 37 are the ones that managed to graduate. So it is 57 or 37 of the 1,100 that we have so far seen through. It's our responsibility, not only as MTN but government policymakers, to see that we enable them to be able to access the facilities. There are so many other programs like this that MTN Uganda is involved in, but also you will notice that even at the graduation today, it was attended by quite a number of people that had graduated from different cohorts and different locations. So we encourage them to stick around such that they can also mentor and support the incoming groups of people and be a testimony to everybody else.
SSC officials welcomed the initiative, describing it as timely in addressing youth unemployment through practical digital training.
We have partnered with MTN Foundation and Mandeleo Foundation to empower young people with skills that will give them the opportunity to find work, because we realize that one of the fundamental skills that every young person needs today to be able to navigate the saturated job market is the digital skills. We have young people who are from within the community. We also have refugee youth who are living within this community that have benefited from this program.
Outstanding trainees including Ali Wasimbe Tyson, Mary Faith Mirembe, Ashley Chloe and Ariana Glove received laptops and MiFi devices to support continued learning.
We'll actually obtain a lot of skills, and including like uploading data, actually using emails, sending and receiving messages.
Since 2022, the MTN Internet Bus program has reached more than 6,000 people across 44 communities nationwide, promoting digital inclusion and youth employment across Uganda.
And in the area of joblessness, new rice farming technologies introduced by Korean Partnerships for Innovations in Agriculture, transforming the lives of youth who had dropped out of school due to poverty. The youth are now earning a living through rice transplanting services, with some receiving up to 100,000 shillings per hour for farmers adopted modern Korean rice farming methods.
For years, unemployment remained a painful reality for many people in Doho irrigation scheme. Among them is Eric Waruya, whose dream of completing school was cut short after his parents failed to raise school fees.
We started, we reached somewhere
and our school fees was not enough.
But hope came when Waruya and several youths enrolled for rice transplanting skills training offered by Korean Partnership for Innovations in Agriculture.
If it was just soccer, just to plant soccer, jagari, it would just take like 2 hours and a half, but this one is taking 1 hour and a half.
Today, the group is earning an income by helping farmers to adopt the new rice farming technologies.
Even if we are very far, can wait just us to come and do what? To plant this rice. We are paid 100 an acre.
The Korean rice farming technologies focus on proper land preparations, nursery bed establishment and line transplanting, aimed at increasing production while reducing labor costs.
It becomes easier for a farmer to remove weeds. The spread of disease is very minimal when you are transplanting in line. Unlike the other method of random transplanting, where the plants are they have no formula, they are zigzag, and the wind can't blow in one direction.
Farmers who have embraced the technology say it has not only boosted yields, but also created employment among young people.
We normally have between 15 and 20 people, especially for the planting. But if it's other works like clearing the gardens and what have you, we normally have like, sometimes we go up to 30 people.
The youth say the work has transformed their lives, enabling them to earn money and support their families.
Like us, of some of us, we have planted the houses from this planting of the rice. I have some pigs, goats.
Korean Partnerships for Innovation in Agriculture remains committed to improving rice production at Doho Irrigation Scheme through modern farming technologies.
So finally, totally, the production very improved. So we recommend the farmers use Korean transplant line. Kopia made 1,000 transplant line. We donated already. Each group used the transplant line.
The rice production has already surpassed expected targets following the adoption of Korean farming methods.
So in the 2 years that we have been working with them, we have seen them move their yields on average from 2.5 to now 4.5 tons per hectare. Our varieties have a potential of yielding up to 6 tons, 5 to 6 tons per hectare.
Oko Joseph, UBC.
And that's it for today. Till the next episode.
Like a daily bando. Omuliro nguwulira muli omutima gukankana like drums. Kalakasa, enendungo yakusabula. Mikono free of fire, free of fire, free of fire.
In a fast-moving world, why are we still stuck with paperwork? Signing here, stamping there, moving from office to office. It's exhausting. Now, there's a better way. With UGPass, you can securely prove your identity, sign documents, and access government services anytime, anywhere. No delays, no stress. Everything is instant, safe, secure, and government-backed. UGPass, your identity secured. Available on the Apple App Store and Google Play Store. UGPass is a product of Nita Uganda.
Alright, listen up. Colgate is on a mission.
It's kind of a big thing.
Colgate Herbal uses traditional nature turf and combines it with Colgate Science for healthy gums and strong teeth.
So, Muchara.
Yes, Daddy.
You know the children are going back to school and things are a bit tight. For now, why don't you take half of the fees to junior school, and for the school van contribution, we shall pay later.
Daddy, Why don't we pay using MTN Momo, where we stand a chance of winning school fees for a whole year and more? By the way, you can also apply for a school fees loan, and also participating schools can win a school van.
That's right! Win school fees for a whole year and more. Get Momo goodies and a school van for participating schools. You can also apply for a school fees loan. Simply dial *165*80# or use the Momo app.
Into the world of business, Uganda's pension sector is drawing lessons from Kenya and other African countries on diversifying investment into infrastructure and real estate projects as a way of reducing dependence on foreign borrowing for major government projects. Let's hear more.
Uganda's pension sector is increasingly looking towards the real estate industry as part of efforts to diversify its investment portfolio. The discussions were held during a precursor conference ahead of the 4th Alternative Investment Conference slated for July under the theme Investment Readiness for Pension Funds.
What we have seen in Botswana, what we have seen in Zambia, what we have seen in South Africa, that if you understand real estate but also understand your captive market, you can generate returns of up to 20% if you understand who you are doing this real estate for.
Before it was put up a building, that's it. Put up a building, that's it. But today, understanding who you are and you bring the uniqueness allows for better understanding of risk.
Organized by the Certified Financial Analysts Society of East Africa, CFA, the meeting attracted key stakeholders in Uganda's pension sector, including the regulator and investment professionals. Participants examined project design models, risk assessment mechanisms, and expected returns on investments aimed at protecting savers' funds. According to the Uganda Retirement Benefits Regulatory Authority, UBRA, the meeting comes at a time when government interest is growing in utilizing locally sourced funds to finance capital-intensive infrastructure projects, including investment in the real estate sector.
What is coming out strongly? What should be involved in structuring that kind of investment vehicle? And what is also coming out strongly is making assurance that members' money is protected and is invested well. So it's not an issue of just waking up and dream of a project and then put members' funds. No, that's not what it is. What are the number of projects that we think we are going to have? The housing is one of them. Infrastructure, schools, hospitals, and roads are also another. The biggest driver is that that project must have a liquidity to the scheme and it must be profitable. We are not looking at projects that are going to be white elephants, not generating any revenues to the scheme.
Investment experts emphasized that successful real estate investment requires proper structuring, strong governance systems, and a clear understanding of regulatory frameworks to guarantee sustainable returns.
Now, to say that government has zero risk is quite risky as a statement because anything could happen within a sovereign, and therefore to build an economy, to build a nation, to build a base of an economy, there is need to diversify our investment options such that the pension assets that exist can build directly into the development of that economy. Now, infrastructure in itself opens up the nation to other areas of development. It forms the underbelly of additional economic development.
Dennis Igoa for UBC.
Common 50 series. Perfect snap, any zoom. Enjoy 9 GB free MTN data valid for 3 months. Available in any Techno or MTN outlet near you. MTN is regulated by the Uganda Communications Commission.
Before we sign out, of course, let's look at the world of sports, where Rukunjiri Christ Believers Temple, a local Christian church in Rukunjiri district, has donated a set of sports equipment to Rwakabengo Academy Football Club as part of its commitment to nurturing and promoting youth talent through sports.
This academy has given me a chance to be in school, whereby I'm studying when the school is paying for me just because of football. I've got many connections.
To be on bursary, starting in senior 1 up to senior 4. So even physically fit, I've learned a lot from here.
So we started with one prayer, and now the academy has grown up to 123 players, both boys and girls, competing at different levels.
Just look at football as any other kind of source of employment, because actually we have seen, like in the some leagues, we have seen these footballers earning a lot of money, more than the money that you can even earn from these other works that we do here. So please, let your children try out their luck. Let them try out their luck, because football is developing and it is paying, even it is paying highly. So parents, do not restrict your children from playing football.
That's all we had time for. Thank you so much for staying with us. My name is Patricia Lukoma Mpango. Elizabeth Nakakoni has been with us on sign language. It's a good night from us. Bye-bye.